that from?
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the London Indie Underground, London's only and original independent music podcast, showcasing some of our area's most talented artists, bands, and personalities. Sorry I missed you last week. We had to take a bit of a hiatus for retooling. We had a bunch of work to do around here, actually. We're in the midst of construction. We've got some people in-house tonight that are privy to some of what we're doing. Ajay's out in the hall painting furiously, but I'll get into that a little bit later and let you know what we got coming up. That said, Gary, welcome back.
Hey,
Nice to see you, man.
good to see you.
Yeah, well, it was kind of a good thing we had a week off last week for you as well,
Yeah,
because you've been hammering away, I know.
breathing is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I've seen your posts. Some of them are cryptic, but others are, are very direct and to the point about all the things that are going on there at Sherpa Seems like
Yeah.
you're a pretty busy guy these days.
yeah. It's been hectic, but it's been good.
Good, man. That's
No
good
complaints.
to hear.
Well,
Well, you could complain.
why bother? Nobody listens.
Well, actually, I don't know. There might be some people listening.
No, I don't mean that way. Just mean the rule of life. Nobody listens to the complaining guy.
I hear you.
You just don't get invited to the parties anymore. When you become the downer.
Womp
When
womp.
you're that guy that just has nothing good to say, you just always yapping to the captain about nothing. Nobody wants to listen to you.
You need a little soundtrack that follows you around that goes, womp, 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 womp.
Well, not for me.
Well, no, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
those people.
Yes,
not
those-
us people.
No, no.
Because we're cool like that.
Exactly. We're good with it.
Who doesn't want a soundtrack, though? You ever seen the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? You ever seen
Yes.
that?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he's like, I forget what he says, but everybody needs a soundtrack. And he's got this band, like mariachi band or something that's following around.
Worst music ever.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No offense to any independent mariachi bands out there that we might
Hey,
be
man, there might be
supporting.
some in London. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
So thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning into the London Indie Underground, I want to thank you for joining us today. We've been around now for, I don't know, the better part of 4 months, I think, if not more.
Yep.
And, we started this thing off as a bit of a lark, just a couple of guys in the studio. We happen to have the technology, and it turned into and ballooned into, something that we didn't expect. And the support that we've been getting is tremendous. We've been asking bands to please send in your tracks so we can support you. And as a result of that, we've been privileged to connect with some of the finest musicians in this area, not limited to our guest today, which is a band called Messes and Miracles, which you can see, because we are a video podcast now, you can see them sitting on the couch. Wave hi, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
So
People.
we're going to be getting into some conversation with Messes and Miracles in just a little bit, and coming up at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock as part of the Indie Spotlight. They're going to be performing a couple of selections for us, a few of which I believe that we have showcased on the podcast before, correct?
Yeah, the House of Blaze for sure.
House of Blaze?
Definitely.
I got to call it out right now. My mom is going to be pretty happy. She watches religiously, and she loves you guys. And she's messaged me
Nice.
a bunch of time. I really like that band. Can you
Moms
get me some
love
of their
us.
stuff?
Yeah.
Mom
We're gonna make a
approved.
T-shirt.
That's the heart we want to live.
That's Miracles moms love
Hey,
us.
man,
Sell
that's
a lot in May. We love Mother's Day.
they're the ones with disposable income, right?
You guys should really get on the Jiffy peanut butter thing, and turns out mums love them too. So you can Mrs. Miracles and peanut butter. Mums love them.
Featuring peanut butter.
Marketing writes itself.
Right there.
Yep.
See, it was funny. We were just talking a few moments ago offline. Social media is a pretty important thing, and many of you may have connected with us as a result of seeing, our streams, whether it's through Facebook or through Twitter. But you guys don't even have a Twitter. Do you now?
As of right now, we do. Some people might have thought I was texting. I was just creating that. So we're under The Messes at this point.
The Messes.
The Messes.
Okay, because I've been trying to link to you guys, and you do have a Facebook page that we're going to post up for our listeners/viewers, so they
Isn't-
can connect with you guys. But
Isn't Twitter just like I'm an idiot. Isn't Twitter just like that thing on your Facebook page where you just say stuff randomly? Like, why do you?
Pretty much.
yeah,
It's all about
you're
that
limited to 140 characters.
See, I'm so simple.
And it's basically, tantamount to status updates, right?
Okay.
But you're
And-
not pissing people off because they know what they've signed on to.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas Facebook, if you're continually updating, people just say, fuck, block them. I don't need this clogging my feed. I need to see pictures of food.
I like to add a lot of political views
Yeah.
all day long.
And that's what Twitter's about. You can just yap as much as you want, and
And
maybe people listen and maybe they
Yeah.
don't.
But I will
hockey
tell you
news.
though, as far as news goes and breaking news, you
Yep.
find it out on Twitter before anywhere else, right? Because if you
Oh,
think
yeah.
if you think news outlets. They're only going to be able to pump stuff out, through radio at the top of the hour or whenever they do their news broadcast. Same with television, right? So Twitter breaks all that stuff immediately.
Right.
It's funny. Twitter's so powerful. Like, even hockey players find out that they've been traded to other teams from Twitter before their agent has even called them.
Someone can just tweet anything now, like,
Yeah.
no matter where they are, and anybody has.
Yeah. And I mean,
It's crazy.
there's a lot of great tweets out there, but at the same time, I get really sick and tired of all the parody accounts. They make it clear that they're not that person. Like, Will Ferrell, there's a parody account, and there's a number of them that are pretty funny. But at the same time, I can only handle so much of that. I mean, I'm on there because I want to find out news and I want to see what's going on, and the occasional laugh. But when it's just nonstop, and some people post like every thought that they have, and I get it. It's not for me, but you guys certainly could use it as a powerful tool to connect with other people.
Hashtag messes and miracles.
Hashtag messes and miracles, which we've actually started thanks to Bubba over here. You can't see him. Let me switch the camera view so you can kind of see the other members.
Yoink.
Bam. So there's a view, and you got Bubba Hotep. He doesn't have a microphone in the back, but we'll do a little bit of a segment later with Bubba, a.k.a. Bubs Kendall. Yeah, so a.k.a. the shit pie.
Fuck yeah.
You can't hear him, but he's saying, fuck yeah.
He communicates with loving stares, anyways.
He does. He does. He's a good dude, and he's got some real funny shit to say. So we're going to do, anytime Bub's here, we're going to do a little segment. And Bubs, I wish I had gone and exported some of what we conversed about. We happened to be here late one night, and we were doing some tracking. And, we had a couple of beers, as you would do on a Friday night. And, I set up the microphones, and I let Bubs go. And it was absolute gold. I don't even want to repeat it because I wouldn't want to spoil it. But, maybe you'll see the light of day sometime.
I got more gold for you.
More gold, eh? Beautiful. All right, so we should probably get to some music here. I'm going to actually start this thing off in support of a band that we've been featuring here quite a bit on the London Indie Underground, a band called Red Amber Green. This was a new track that they had sent to us not all that long ago, a new single that they've been pumping. It's a great track. It's called Cobwebs and Cardigans, Red Amber Green on the London Indie Underground. Red, Amber, Green, Cobwebs, and Cardigans on the London Indie Underground. Really dig those guys. I know they've been working on some new stuff in addition to that track, and hopefully they'll have some new stuff available shortly, and we can get that to you as quickly as possible. Because that's what we do. We try to showcase new and emerging talent here in the London and surrounding area. And if you happen to be in a band and you would like to have your music showcased on the London Indie Underground, we encourage you to send us your tracks. All you need to do is get on your email, go to londonindieug@hotmail.com. Send us an MP3 or two. We said it before and we'll say it again. Please don't send us links to your Bandcamp, although we do appreciate it. And, given the time, I'm sure that we would peruse it. Gary?
And we're happy that you have a Bandcamp site. Whatever. Sorry. Just every week we always say it, and we still get all these like, hey, listen to my...
We do. And we want to check out your stuff, but, and no disrespect, but we are pretty busy dudes, right?
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is MP3. Quality ones. Don't compress them down too far so that they sound poopy. We want them to sound good, and we'll be happy to spin them for you. And further, if you happen to be a band that has sent us in tracks previously and you haven't heard your track, just send us a quick tweet or a Facebook message or whatever, and we're happy to spin it for you. I mean, by request. There's no shame in requesting your own song, is there?
No. Vote Quimby.
Vote Quimby. Is there... Now, let me ask you something. This is a pressing question. Is it permissible for a band to wear their own band T-shirt?
Oh, man.
You know what? That's a good question. The movie Almost Famous, Jason Lee plays the singer of the band. He always wears his own band shirt. I always thought it was kind of funny. Don't think I'd really
There's
wear my own.
differing opinions on this.
You should ask
think
Jesse's opinion.
You have.
I think as long as
I
you're
don't
not
really
on
have an
stage.
opinion. It wasn't even, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're on stage. You
Oh, then never.
Oh, yeah,
I would never.
otherwise,
do
no,
that.
Never?
yeah.
Never wear your own
That's the
shirt.
time to wear profanity.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big faux pas, but drummers are odd people.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do funny things. In fact, you know what? I think my last band in Vancouver, I think that drummer did it a couple times too. So drummers are forgiven.
There you go.
I get the pass.
So are you going to wear it the next show?
He's got it on
Probably
right
not
now.
now.
Do you have it on now?
Yeah.
Is it underneath that sweater?
That was the thing. I
That is
remember
awesome.
when we came in, it was like, okay, you can't take the sweater off.
He's probably sweating right now, but he can't
Too
take his
bad.
sweater off.
Oh, perfect. Happy
It's kind of like wearing that the shirt of the band you're going to see.
Yeah, that's
You know.
That's different,
like
though.
When
if
you're
you're like
13,
12 or
that's
13,
okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay because you're excited to be there. But
yeah.
yeah, you don't go into the hamper to bring out the old Iron Maiden shirt to wear to the Iron Maiden shirt
Sure
to
you
show
do.
everybody else that you've been a fan for longer than everybody
No,
else.
but that's
No.
what some people do, though, because
So-
they
I
have the
know.
old tour shirts and they want to show that, hey, I was there.
right. But
Yeah.
they
Back
can,
in Nam. Or
but they can
whenever.
buy that on eBay and just walk around saying, "Yeah, I was there."
Yeah, but you can tell. Like, if it looks pristine...
No, like 'cause you can
Well-
buy vintage shirts. Guys sell their old shirts.
I have a friend of mine that has a Led Zeppelin shirt that he bought in 1976.
Yep.
Oh,
And
that's
he
so
wears it out every now and then, and the thing it's just about to fall off of him.
Mhm.
It's pretty much disintegrated, but he refuses to get rid of it, and it's because he bought it at like some show, right?
Yeah,
and
that's-
he's like, I got to represent.
I'm the same. I've got the Last Replacements tour. I've got the shirt. It's falling apart. It's now in a Ziploc bag, and I won't get rid of it ever because that was like a huge thing for me, right? But I wore it till it was dead. But I wouldn't wear it to a Replacements gig just to say that I was there.
Okay, so let's clarify here for a second. So it's okay for a band to wear their own T-shirt if they're out and about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because some people may not know.
Well,
the-
and you're
the connection.
promoting yourself at that
Right.
point.
Exactly.
But you can't be on stage.
Nope.
I know a lot of bands that
I know.
do that wear their own.
Maybe
I-
it's like an outfit or something, though. Like everybody, you know what I mean? You guys have a stage.
Oh,
plan
okay, yeah.
outfit.
If it's a
And
preset and everybody has that, that's different. But I would say that I would say when you're on stage, it's almost the time to, because people are there, they're going to know who you are. Normally, your drummer has the giant head that says the band name on it or whatever.
Backdrop.
Yeah, the
Oh, I
backdrop.
thought you were talking about ego.
Well, that as well. That's almost the time when you almost promote your friends' bands almost. You wear your friends' band shirts to kind of give them a bit of a hand up because you're already up there. You're on the stage, right?
Right.
People are looking at you. I would never wear my own
I agree with that.
band shirt on stage myself. But really, who wants to go see a guy playing an acoustic guitar singing about monkeys and stuff, wearing his own shirt, whatever?
Is that what you sing about?
Not really. It's usually about killing people.
Really?
It's killing people disguised as love songs is my big thing right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Wow. That's
No,
a bit crazy.
No, it comes down to it. And when you're writing lyrics, right, it's very easy to just take the short, right? Like I have a subject. I've just been kind of more delving into disguising things. Like you can write about whatever, your love of bologna sandwiches, but write it as something else so people think you like, fuck, that's deep, man. He's really into whatever, you know, he's really into Nostradamus. And then it's like you hear later on, you know, an interview with somebody and they're like, yeah, no, that entire album was written about my love of spicy bologna. And then you go back and you listen to the album and you're like,
My love of
"Holy
pimento
fuck."
loaf.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, then
Yeah.
you're like, holy crap, he's right, that is. Why did I think that was about something
But you know,
else?
like sometimes people read into lyrics, right?
Totally,
It'd be pretty
and
amazing
that's-
if they stopped you. Man, that song you got about pimento loaf, that's powerful shit.
Yeah, exactly. It really changed my life. You know, I was pretty much done with life, and then I heard that song about Nostradamus. Oh, just so you know, that's about pimento loaf. I'm going to buy a gun. You know, but anyways, it's just more. You know,
I really like the macaroni bits.
yeah, it's almost one of those things. Like after a while, and you're writing, and you've been writing for a long time, you just kind of start saying, "How can I challenge myself somewhere else?"
Right? No, I get it.
Yeah,
I
so-
get it. See, I'm not a lyricist.
Right.
I mean, I consider myself a bit of a wordsmith, but I'm certainly not a lyricist, right? So,
Right.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I play drums. Drums.
I good drumby, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I need to back up here for a
Yep.
second. So, in your opinion, if I'm going to see Mastodon, because everybody knows I love Mastodon, so I go to see Mastodon, I shouldn't wear a Mastodon sweater.
I wouldn't.
Or shirt, rather.
Myself, I wouldn't. I'm the guy that's always like, really? You're here. We know you like them because you're here.
Support. However, that said, if I'm playing a show and I see people in the crowd and they're wearing my T-shirts,
Yeah.
I feed off of that.
Well,
What
I
about
do
you
too because
guys,
I'm a
man?
screen printer. That feeds me actually.
Yeah, that's right. I made that shirt.
Yeah, it's more like you paid for that, so I'm getting paid, so that's
Yeah.
good. But you know, it's one thing if you bought it at the show and you're wearing it. It's just one of those things when you wear the shirt to the show.
That's fair.
just
What
my
do you guys
thing.
think?
I
Yeah,
haven't
no.
really thought about it before. It's interesting.
I agree. I thought about it a lot, and I agree.
You get the pass if you're under 14
Yeah,
because you're just stoked that your parents
Yeah,
have
yeah.
let you out to a show.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, man, I'll be that guy. I'll be that guy giving the disapproving look. I'll be like, really?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. There is one slight rule. If you're on tour and your stuff all is dirty and reeks
Yeah. Okay,
like
yeah.
sweet hell, then yes, absolutely put on one of the merch shirts.
Yeah, go into the merch box and save
Yeah.
yourself.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
I wear my band shirts sometimes, and people usually stop me and say, "Hey, man, Two Crown King, they're awesome." I'm like, "That's right."
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
But that's you wearing it out and around
Right,
the
right,
town.
right.
so-
Not all the time. Usually laundry day.
Sorry. Just thought it was time to make a move.
That's all right.
What are you guys getting close over there?
Well, a little bit.
You try.
Getting off
Sidling up
slowly.
to each other. All right, so
I like it.
let's do some formal introductions here, shall we? So, and I'm make no bones about it. I'm terrible with names, so I made myself little crib notes here. But let me see if I can get them all. Actually, I lied. I just looked at the page. So we got from my left to right. This is Dan,
Yeah.
Brandon,
Yep.
Ben, Justin, and Jesse. Thanks for coming in today, gentlemen.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah,
thanks for
it's a pleasure.
Nice being
You know, like I said off at the top, we had some great feedback about you guys, not just from my mom, but certainly from my mom, who's listening, by the way, and you know, so now she can see what you guys look like. But that said, we talk an awful lot about how London has kind of a signature sound, if you will, and some of that, you know, metalcore and maybe shades of post-hardcore. But there's certainly those bands that, you know, if from the outsider looking in to the bands that have made some noise in the industry, some might suggest that that is the definition of the London sound. Agreed?
Oh,
yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
So when you have bands like yourself that are kind of off the grid a bit and doing your own thing and your own take and your own approach, it's really refreshing. And that, I have to say at the same time too, a lot of the submissions that we've received have been, you know, vastly different from what I'm accustomed to hearing. But you guys have been one of those bands that very differentiated from some of the lot that we've received so far. So kudos to you guys for you know, for not necessarily, you know, following the status quo. You're kind of doing your own thing, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How long you guys been a band now?
Almost a year, probably in March.
Mm-hmm.
At least between us three, yeah.
Yeah. It's been an odd and backwards road, but
Yeah, you mentioned that offline.
yeah.
So you kind of put the cart before the horse a little bit,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
so you guys went into the studio at EMAC.
Yeah, me and Ben met. We're both just kind of looking for somebody to write some acoustic songs with and just kind of whatever. We decided to record them, but they basically were a little bit more rock than what we were thinking, so we decided to put full band together before we went and recorded. and that's where Brandon came in. And then our drummer at the time was Kyle Ashbourne at EMAC, and so we just went in, recorded the EP, and then as you know, Kyle is now working full time at EMAC with Grady, so he bowed out, and we found these other two fine gentlemen, and we've just kind of been getting the songs ready for stage now. So
That's great. So is this your first official live performance?
yes, it is.
It is, eh?
Technically, that was
Oh,
the
wow.
first
I'm
time
humbled.
I did it.
Oh man.
I'm
Yeah.
humbled. It's great because we sound checked earlier and it sounded awesome. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with our listeners today, and
Wait to play it.
flattered that that it's your first live performance here.
Practicing
So
a lot.
Yeah, we've been working pretty hard.
that said, I mean, you guys are no stranger to the music industry, and obviously you've all been involved in various projects, right? So it's kind of a culmination of all your experiences to this point. The EP that you recorded, how many tracks did you do with Grady at EMAC?
5.
5 songs.
Yeah.
And so how long ago was that? Was that right when you started?
That was in
A
the
year ago?
summer.
In the summer.
Was it summer?
Yeah, it was like
Summer,
around
Yeah,
April,
yeah.
May, something like that.
Okay.
Spring. Yeah, spring.
Yeah, springtime.
Okay, yeah, it was.
And then we got the CDs around June, halfway through June, I believe.
Okay. So you haven't had I guess an official CD release even yet.
No.
Technically not, no.
Yeah.
We tried to, but there was illness and things like that kind of once
things
it
happen.
launched. So
We've been
Yeah,
using
and-
the messes and miracles. Shit always goes wrong. But we're here and we're doing what we do, right?
That's fair.
So that's a miracle right there, I guess.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to get to some more music. I can't wait to get you guys at the top of the hour. We got about a half an hour to go before we'll be able to catch a couple of live performances by the Messes and Miracles. In the meantime, I'm going to spin some music here. I've got a lot of submissions, and I kind of feel bad sometimes that I miss out on some of the stuff that was sent to us. And I've had a couple of bands that have reached out to me and said, hey, would you be able to play my track? And so one of the bands that I'm going to play is the Black Frame Spectacle,
Okay, yeah.
which I messaged just a few times to ask us if we could play some stuff for them. So I don't think we've spun this one quite yet because we've featured 2 of their tracks before. But this one is called Up, Back, or Off. This is the Black Frame Spectacle on the London Indie Underground.
Demos are no Pharaohs.
black frame spectacle here on the London Indie Underground. Really dig that tone. They've got that rockabilly type of feel.
Yeah.
There's a couple of bands too that we featured that have that similar type of tone. So again, kind of speaks volumes to some of the submissions that we've been getting that have been kind of off the map, which we really appreciate. So a couple of comments here that we received via Twitter. So in terms of wearing the T-shirts, so on stage. So my buddy Carter is listening to the podcast right now.
Carlos Spicy Wiener?
Carlos Spicy Wiener
Okay, yeah.
is listening in right
Just
now.
like to know where we stand here.
Hey, Carlos, hold on. Let me turn on these cameras here. Bam, there we go. So Carlos says it's the old Jason Newsted move. So Jason Newsted from Metallica always wore Metallica shirts.
Except for when he played Toronto, his first tour.
You would know that?
Because
Because
he wore my band shirt.
He did?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I met them. We met them that day. We had backstage passes, and we got to hang out with them. It was kind of a cool night because you go back and like it's like anything. Like, you get a group of like 25 guys, and then your favorite band is there, and so everybody wants to be cool for the band. So it's like everybody's like right fucking on, blah, 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 and we're just kind of like meh. Okay, we'd been drinking earlier, so we're kind of mellow by now. And it's just like, hey, how's it going? And we're like the only ones they ended up talking to because we weren't screaming, like
Nice.
yelling fucking right on constantly. So, and then we also bought this really horrendous golf shirt because everybody else was like, sign my jean jacket. And I was like, hey, can you sign my hideously ugly golf shirt? And they're like, right on. Like, that's cool. Like, this is fucked up. So when we did it, we had just put out a demo, and we had like T-shirts and all that, and we brought everybody like a cassette and the T-shirt, and they were all very impressed because the graphic was a very horror zombie looking thing before, and of course they were all into that, and so we got to hang out with those guys, and then we gave it to each guy, and Newsted got all excited when he saw the T-shirt, and then he ran off and then brought Kirk Hammett back to get a T-shirt. He was all excited, and then so we're sitting there, whatever, after and I think it was the Injustice for All tour, and all of a sudden, the big intro with the spaghetti western music and all that, and the Hetfield comes out, and the place goes nuts, and Lars does his normal, hey everybody, look at me, standing up, and and then Newsted walks out, and he's already lopped the sleeves off of our T-shirt, right, and we're just like, oh, and at that point we became gods at home. For about 2 weeks.
Cool. That is a cool story.
Yeah.
That's
And
way
awesome.
cooler.
Yeah.
That's way cooler than the time I tried to get Braun Daler to sign my belt buckle
Yeah.
in the vestibule at the Opera
True,
House,
true.
and he was like, "I gotta go."
And the funny part is a buddy of mine, probably about
He was there.
Yeah, probably about 7 months ago, sent me a copy of the concert. And then I thought about it. Just when you think about things, like now you go to a concert, you take this, right? Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to tape this. Well, back then it would have been VHS. How the fuck do you get a VHS camera, like smuggle it down your crotch to the show? You know what I mean?
That's all me, baby.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and you can imagine, like now it's like you go to a concert and you kind of like even, I'm the old school guy, so I still think I'm doing something wrong when I've got my, when I'm filming something and the usher walks down or whatever, you're like, you'll see my armpit for part of it or something. But then I'm just thinking to myself, back then it was, you couldn't do that. So you'd be like, this giant freaking box on your shoulder with two guys holding it up, and all of a sudden, usher.
You're in traction for a week after
Yeah,
filming
exactly.
that, right?
Great fucking concert. My neck really hurts. Were you headbanging so much? No, the video camera. It's like big fucking VHS tapes. But anyways, yeah, I've got a copy of it as well.
I love to see that, man.
It's
It'd be
pretty
great.
hilarious.
I'm a big fan of the Injustice for All, that album.
Oh,
in
okay.
particular. I know, like, as they kind of later years and load and reload, and
Yeah, that was
it's a little
my
too much. Hi-yah!
yeah, that was my
Yeah,
cutoff.
I
That
like
was my
Red
cutoff.
Lightning, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ride the
I
I
Lightning's
love the sound of that
badass.
album.
Yeah,
Right.
Ride Lightning is
Huge
still.
Metallica fan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it earlier, but I used to have 13 Metallica shirts.
really?
I
Okay.
slowly weaned them off and got rid of them, but I think I got 4 or 5 left.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't even have one anymore.
yeah. No, okay, I think.
Well, I think I have 10 Mastodon shirts though,
Okay, yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Right, every
That
time I
sounds
go,
pretty badass.
Yeah.
every time I
Yeah.
go to a show, they always have great merch, right? So you go to a show, and we've been to like a bunch of them, and we always hit the merch booth and represent.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm that guy wearing that T-shirt in the crowd.
yeah.
That's
But
me.
is it from the show or from the previous show?
Sometimes from the previous show, but usually
Okay, yeah.
from the
So
show.
you're that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I am that guy. Whatever, I'll be
That's
that guy.
borderline there.
Yeah.
So, kind of switch it up a little bit. Did anybody watch the Grammys on the weekend?
Yeah.
No.
I heard
You
it was
did?
really good.
Definitely,
Actually.
yeah, no.
Really?
Some of
Chick
it,
Corea
yeah.
did Take 5 with a couple other guys. I heard it was pretty cool.
I have to take your word for it
Great.
because I didn't watch it.
I didn't
I
watch
was,
it.
I was
didn't
watching
watch it either.
zombies.
I like
Yeah.
TV.
I just wanted to see Fun and Mumford.
Yeah,
They did. They
Mumford.
both did a good job.
Oh, yeah, that's
Mumford
right.
killed
Yeah,
it.
actually,
Didn't they
I
do a
saw
band
Fun.
song? They
I
did
saw
Leave
Fun
on
set,
Hell?
and Fun.
That-
That was the only thing I saw.
That dude's melodies blow my mind.
From Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dude
Yes.
from Fun. He just destroys me. And they do it live.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Sounds amazing.
I was telling my wife because she hadn't even heard the band before. Like she'd heard it on the radio or whatever, and just kind of. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure this was like a group of musicians who said, "We need some kind of theater kid to run to
Yeah.
be our vocalist."
Totally.
And it's like because his voice is very theater, and he
Yeah.
hits those. He has some really strange like melodies that he belts out that I. It just really takes me back more to almost like old fashioned musicals, like that kind of style of voicings on his stuff. So I'm impressed by them.
Yeah.
It's not my normal genre of music that I get into, but I was really impressed by what they did. And
Yeah.
I miss Mumford and Sons, so I was like, okay,
They were good.
yeah.
Mumford was awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the whole reason why I watched the Grammys.
I was upset I missed
Didn't they
that.
do
yeah.
like a tribute to Leave on Helm? Like
No,
a
Yeah.
they
song?
just.
Well,
Didn't they do the
Mumford
the
didn't,
Wait?
but at the end they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did,
Yeah.
You know what was ridiculous was Frank Ocean.
yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't actually. It just happened to be that I was like, I'm not a big TV person, so I don't really watch a lot, and I just happened to be flipping around, just probably in between, like trying to see if there's any hockey games on or something.
Yeah.
And just then they said, "Oh, and this is fun." It wasn't it Neil Patrick Harris that introduced him, or something.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, and
so,
said this is fun, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check this out."
Yeah.
So yeah, but I didn't get to see anybody else. But I heard a lot about Frank Ocean. I heard a lot about
Weird.
yeah, I heard Mumford Sons just destroyed, and so yeah.
Elton John also made an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Yeah, with
I
that-
saw
that
that
young
with Ed
dude.
Sheeran.
Yeah,
Totally,
yeah.
totally destroyed it. Actually,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only thing on
That was
Twitter
awesome.
for me that whole night is, hey, Elton John really knows how to fuck up somebody's song nicely. It's like, well, I'll take your hit and I'll sing it my
Yeah.
way because I'm Elton fucking John.
Pretty much. Yeah,
And then I just sat there and I was
like,
like, gee, this
That
sucks.
kid's got a
Great
buttery
voice.
He's
eh?
talented.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
crazy
well.
voice.
My wife and I went and saw Snow Patrol. They played in Toronto. I can't remember whatever Massey Hall I think it was, and he opened. And my wife's really big into the British pop music scene, and my father's parting words to me was, happy life equals happy wife. It's very true. If you ever get married, just if you keep her happy, life will be okay. If
I
she's
am.
miserable, yeah, life is horrendous. So we went and saw Snow Patrol, and Ed Sheeran, like we'd seen them before, and Ed Sheeran opened, and my God, the audience was filled with nothing but 15-year-old girls. After every song, he'd actually have to tell people to shut up because girls were screaming at him. And he does a lot. Like, it's just him with an acoustic guitar and a looper pedal. So he pre-records all his backing tracks right there. So he does the looper and he sings the harmony, and then he hits the next looper and does the next harmony up, and then plays the song, and then while he's playing, he'll hit the pedal and bring in his own
That's
harmonies.
pretty cool. I've seen that before.
Yeah, but it's funny. So he'll be trying to okay, shut up. I have to do this now. And he does this like, and then somebody go, wee! And he go, no, shut up. And like these girls would just go, and it would be dead silent, and he would do this whole thing, and then he'd kick in the song, and then the place would just go Beatlemania. And we just sat there going like, who the hell is this kid?
But
Yeah.
he was just like, shut up.
Yeah, like,
Like,
I-
not,
no, at first it's like, I need you
Settle.
cordially ask you
No, well,
to
no, yeah, no. It was
not
like,
make noise at
in the
this time.
beginning, it was like, okay, I need you guys to be quiet here because I'm going to do this. And he'd start doing it, then somebody'd scream, and he'd go, no, shut up. And then he'd start doing it again, and it was just awesome to see it. But when we left, we were like, that was kind of interesting. Like, he was really good, and he had them just eating out of the palm of his hands, or maybe eating out of something else afterwards. I don't know.
Heyo. So while you guys were watching the Grammys, which I should have been because I'm a music guy,
Yeah.
but yeah, zombies were back. You
Yeah.
guys watched The Walking Dead?
Of course.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, love it.
I love the show too, but I after watching that episode, I kind of feel like I'm over it. Like, I don't know. I hate to say that too. Yeah,
I didn't
Ben-
catch it.
You didn't catch it?
No,
Well, I don't want to
it's
spoil it for you, or many of you listening that haven't seen it yet have that happen to be zombie fans, but you should check it out. I mean, it was really good. And there's definitely that cliffhanger at the end, right, where
Oh,
Rick was
psychotic, right?
he
He's
went a
like
little
freaking
crazy,
out.
but that happened before with the phone, right? When he was convinced
Yeah.
that there was
Yeah.
help that was trying to come and help him, and then, what's his wife's name? What's her name? Lori. So Lori mysteriously shows up. And,
Yeah.
yeah, and then he goes a bit crazy, and
Mhm.
everybody is like, "Whoa, Rick's
Mhm.
gonna kill
Well, we'll
somebody."
give you some time here.
Yeah, we'll leave you alone for a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
There's many places online where you can
Oh,
find
yeah,
it for free.
definitely.
That's true.
If
Did you
you've
see
done it.
AMC is actually redoing them all and reloading them all as black and whites?
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
they're doing
That's
all the
pretty
episodes
cool.
of black and white.
Because
Yeah,
all the comic books are
black and white. Yeah, and it's also paying homage to basically the guy who directs it is like this big horror can't remember his name, but he was really well known for his makeup. His because he's one of the
Yeah, that's
hey Gary, what do you got in front of you there? Well, I think it's a computer, jackass.
It's the interwebs.
Yes, let's take a look here and see what we're talking about
They
here.
also did like the Evil Dead movies and all that.
Yeah, he was only just partial on that though as well. But anyway, so it's paying a homage to the original Night of the Living Dead. So it's pretty awesome. But
Very cool.
I'll be watching it just because I like the black and white
I
style as
like
well.
it. I got season 1 and 2 on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Right
I,
on.
I can't get enough of it.
yeah.
I don't want to be over it. I mean, I
got
think
all
it's
the comic books. I got figurines. I don't want to
Yeah.
yeah, Paul. We should really have a microphone on Buzz because he's contributing and you can't
My
hear
neighbor's
him.
a
But
comic book nut and toys. He's got countless. It's crazy.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
No.
and the Toy Story toy collection.
Yeah. And the Tick and many other things.
The Tick too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was into the Tick before anybody knew who the Tick was.
I know.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big blue guy.
Yeah, because it started out as a comic, right? And I have like from 1 to 15. That's when they stopped, and I
They
had
make
like
a real like acting show. Like
yeah,
a
yeah,
live
yeah,
action show?
yeah. It went
It's almost
comic
a
book.
cartoon, right?
Yeah, it went comic book
Yeah.
to cartoon to live action show.
Oh, I didn't see
Was
the live
was
action
David
show.
Putty the live action?
Yes,
Tick?
he was.
He was.
That's
Yes, he
so
was.
awesome.
Yeah, with
Oh, man,
Arthur.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it
dude.
was pretty awesome.
He'll always be David Putty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's certain characters when they're in certain roles that they're in that they will always be that person.
It's like
no
Agent
matter.
Smith in The Matrix.
Yeah.
You see him in Lord of the Rings, man. I just picture him like Mr. N.
Mr. N.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so true, man. It's so true. Oh, well, I posted one up on Facebook there not all that long ago. I'm like, I can't even remember. I have to go back and review. But, if there's anybody maybe you want to tweet to us or message us, if you can think of an actor that, exemplifies this, where they're typecast into one role, and no matter what they do subsequent to that, they'll always be that person. It's like Kramer, right? But I use Seinfeld as an example because they're one of the ones that are top of mind. But
Keanu Reeves.
there's certainly a number of actors out there. Yeah, like Keanu Reeves is a great example because he'll never get away from Bill and Ted's
No, he's the
Adventure.
same actor in every movie.
Exact. Whoa! Like he's always that
Yeah.
same guy. Clint
He's
Eastwood.
always dirty hairy, right?
Yeah.
I've been
I
kind
mean,
of
the guy who's Shooter McGavin. That
Yeah.
was the one.
yeah.
He'll always be Shooter
Oh,
McGavin.
yeah, yeah,
I saw him in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. This is even before
Oh.
Happy Gilmore, but he's still Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
Choke on that baby.
It sucks. It kind of always ruins it. Unless it's like, like Will Ferrell's pretty much the same in every movie, but he's hilarious. So
Right.
that works out.
Yeah, but he's that one character that I
Yeah,
kind of want to
that's
see
true.
the same. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and it's the same with Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jack
he's
Black as
he's
well,
the same,
too,
but
yeah.
he's himself, I guess, because he's just the same as his SNL days.
Exactly, but that's him being himself,
Yeah.
and that's his personality
Little
coming
different.
through the character, right? And it's different than when you have a character that's, acting accordingly to that, whatever it is that character is supposed to be like, right? But we'll never be able to escape that. Like you see Michael Richards in real life, right? Apart from the whole N-bomb situation there, but did you guys see that? That whole he was at a did some live stand-up comedy and
Oh, yeah.
there's some
I've heard
African
about
American
that, yeah.
people
Yeah.
there that he started referring to as inappropriately, and there was this whole big uproar as a result of it. But and he was doing some stand-up comedy. But in my opinion, like no matter what he does subsequent, he's always going to be Kramer, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, listen. Let's get to some music. When we get back, actually, Gary, you might be interested in this. So the boys from Mr. Tasty, who I know are listening right now attentively,
Yep.
we got some new music for them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they were working with Siggy, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
They were at Beach Road, and they banged off, I think, 5 or 6 tracks here. If you happen to be listening, gentlemen, I've got the full selection here. If there's one in particular that you would like us to showcase, please let us know before we get to it. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick for you.
Did they send us the Beach Road theme song?
Do they have a Beach Road theme song?
Yeah, I believe Mr. Tasty wrote a Beach Road theme song for Sig.
For Siggy, eh?
Yeah, I think Siggy had posted something about that.
He did?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to have to go through and take a look. and see
Would it be
I can
cool if I gave my buddy at home a shout
Please
out?
do. Any shout outs you like to do, let's get them out of the way.
Say yo to Crayson at home, sitting at his computer and watching us away.
Oh, I
As
hope.
well, what up, Mike Conowalek, old school bandmate from Toronto?
My mom and my wife. Anybody else that's listening from work?
Right on.
My wife and baby girl, and then also my brother, and he's got a bunch of little kids hanging out watching, so
Awesome.
I suggested maybe don't, but
You know, we are going to say some inappropriate things. You know, this is unmoderated. We'll try to keep it clean, though.
So many more.
Because I know the kids are listening, and my mom listens, too. but-
I'll reel it in.
Reel it in, Gary.
Yeah.
So you're the truck driver over there.
Totally.
crap, boobs, crap. Oh.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going to spin a track. We played this a bunch, but I can't get enough of this song. I think it's fantastic. This is George Leach with Carry Me
Oh, yeah.
on the London Indie Underground.
Shackles on my feet, I deny everything I see. Strip away the things you say, and you're left with what you do. I'm too scared to walk alone, and I feel far from home. If I fall, will you carry me, carry me, carry me? Am I sinking in the sea of what I've come to be? If I drown, will you carry me, carry me, carry me? Holding on when I should let go. Sermon song on the radio. Strip away the things you say, and you're left with what you do. I'm too scared to walk alone, and I feel far from home. If I fall, will you carry me, carry me, carry me? Am I sinking in the sea of what I've come to be? If I drown, will you carry me, carry me, carry me? I'm too scared to walk alone, and I feel far from home. If I fall, will you carry me, carry me, carry me? Am I sinking in the sea of what I've come to be? If I drown, will you carry me, carry me, carry me?
George Leach with Carry Me here on the London Indie Underground. Great song.
Yep.
If you happen to dig him, check him online. We'll see if we can get a link to him, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Getting a little feedback in the other room there. Apologize to you guys. It's hard to manage all this AV stuff over here. It's a good thing I was in the AV club.
It's a good thing you watch Star Trek.
It's true, man. You know how much I've learned from Star Trek? I've learned that everything is only one or two problems. Everything in life is only one or two problems. Something with a phase variance, it's always a phase variance.
Yeah.
And, you know, dilithium crystals.
Dilithium crystals
There
get
you
you out
go.
of everything. yeah.
Phase variance, dilithium crystals. You
Fair
pretty
enough.
much have it all figured out.
It's really
Happy
like
life.
Yeah.
the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon really should be more like Star Trek. How everything just comes back to it.
It's true. In everything in Star Trek, all the problems have to do with phase variance or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
And
Why do they always
inverse-
like realize at the
Inverse
last minute, though?
tachyon pulse will solve that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they get through the whole episode and then they just realize that it's phase variance.
Yeah. An inverse phase variance. Come on, get it right.
yeah, exactly.
Inverse.
You can't see up above you as the Enterprise that's floating in the corner over there.
Oh, nice.
Because
It's
I don't
stuffy.
think it's in the camera shot, but
too
yeah,
bad.
I have to pay homage to my favorite show. And you guys didn't know, Gary for my birthday got me a Riker, an Enterprise uniform.
That's awesome.
It was
What?
amazing.
That's
Well, not the
sweet.
full uniform; it's just the top, but still.
You're
Wear it with
totally
some black
sheltered,
pants.
Wear it as,
Superman.
black pants. and-
Yeah, man. I don't know that I would wear that to a show.
Dude, wear it to a show.
Weird
Yeah.
on
There you go. Yeah.
One
word.
time.
Yeah. There you
One
go.
time,
Weird on
Yeah.
But like
Formally,
a
though.
good
Halloween
big
show.
show.
The Jewel tribute.
the two. Yeah, no. I'll get beat up after.
No. They would be into it more than anything.
You think so?
Ah, it's Tool. Like, Prague dudes, they're into Star Trek. They'd be like, did you see the fucking drummer?
That was
From
out
that
of the
band?
ordinary, right?
Yeah, he was wearing that Star Trek uniform. That was pretty that was pretty awesome.
Those of you that don't know, I do play in a Tool tribute band called Undertow.
Nice.
Our next show is coming up actually March 8th at Norma Jean's. We've been asked to come back for another performance.
Nice.
So we do a couple of 45-minute sets. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of work to break down all those parts, and Danny Carey is an absolute machine. But I try to do him justice in what I can. There's a couple of things that I can't do just because the guy is not human. But it's a lot of fun, and if you happen to be a fan of Tool, you should come and check it out. You wanted to, first off, there were a couple of shout-outs that you need to do. I understand you got a barrage of text,
Kyle
angry texts.
Ashbourne, you are handsome. You are the greatest engineer in history, and you got the tightest little ass. I'm just saying.
I love you, Kyle.
And then you got your daughter and little kids watching at home.
Well, yeah, but she's okay. She can't talk yet.
She's in bed. Yeah, and shout out to Jenna and my sister Nicole out in the West.
There we
Was
go.
that everybody?
Oh, yeah.
I think we're okay now.
I've covered all my texts.
Unless somebody else texts to yell at us. We'll have to see.
Shout out to Tom Cruise.
Shout out to
Yep.
Tom Cruise. So you were
Tom
saying,
Cruise.
Yeah,
you were saying offline about Tom Cruise.
he's one of those guys that does not change performances. Every movie I think I've ever seen him in, except for Tropic Thunder, same freaking guy.
What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
There isn't one. Well, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic
'cause
Thunder, yeah.
Minority Report.
Minor, yeah.
Yeah, Minority Report's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
The guy's insane, but I like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Me as well.
I find his movies aren't thinkers.
No,
but,
no, yes.
But I don't know. You can enjoy them. Top Gun, it's so good.
And you know what? I've never seen Top Gun.
What?
Seriously.
You've never
Seriously.
seen Top Gun?
Never.
Man.
Never. That's me.
That's
I've,
insane.
I've never seen Top Gun.
That-
And
that's
I'm a
like-
guy who
Check,
loves
check,
shit films. Like I watch all those like Sharktopus, giant, mega shark versus giant octopus. I sit through all of that crap because really?
Shark Attack.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
That
you've
was-
not seen... I can't believe
I
this,
haven't
Gary.
seen, no, I haven't seen Top Gun.
Actually, I have one more shout out. If that's
Do it.
cool. My buddy Devin Norman, he's at home taping this for us. He's gonna throw it on DVD after I work with him. He's a buddy at
Nice.
work.
Cool.
I'd also like to say hey to my girlfriend out there, right? I don't know, 10 feet away, and my mom and dad at home. that are watching
Stephanie
this.
is her name?
Yeah.
She's holding it down out there. I put her in charge of everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I said, Stephanie, you got to hold it down. Make sure nobody messes with my stuff.
She won't let you
She's
down.
like,
Beat 'em up.
Yeah, she won't.
Yeah.
She's a little Mighty Mouse. She'll hold it down for sure.
Thank you, Stephanie. Much
Excellent.
appreciated.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a Mighty Mouse in the studio, you know?
It's true.
Cool. I got a tweet rather here from Kyle Ashbourne. He said, "Here, play this," and it's a SoundCloud link. We don't play links.
Yeah.
Kyle, if you could do me a favor, I know you're listening. Go to your email. If you happen to have a couple of MP3s, if you can send them to me, LondonIndieUG@hotmail.com. Because if I pull up SoundCloud links, it's just live stream. It makes it a little bit more difficult. It's easier to manage if I have some MP3 files. So if you can bang those to me, I'd be happy to spin it for you. I'm assuming it's his band Tandem Eagle. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, with Grady maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah,
Oh, is
yeah.
it with
That's
Grady?
those
Dude,
guys, yeah.
so good.
I gotta
man.
get
It's
I gotta get
gnarly.
those guys on here because I know Grady and that guy's a riot and I've
yeah.
been obviously we've been showcasing some of the material that he's been involved with. So
You know what you got to do?
What's that?
Grady and Kyle.
Yeah.
And that's a whole show
Yeah.
right there.
oh, for sure. Well, Grady's a one man show.
Yeah.
If you've hung out with Grady, especially out, and when he's been dabbling in Grandpa's cough medicine, he's a hoot for sure. So yeah, we got to get him on here.
I'll be your special too, buddy.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Jimmy. When was it you're playing at Norma's?
Yeah, I'm playing at Norma's March the 8th,
On the
which
8th of
is I believe it's either a Friday or Saturday.
We will be there.
Yeah, we
I'll
should
have
go
to
there.
check. And then, actually, just as a side note too, I'm going to be playing my first show as the drummer of Two Crown King, because I recently joined their band, and we're going to be playing March the 16th at the London Music Hall
Oh, nice.
with the Salads, Stale Fish, and My Son the Hurricane. So it's
Right
the day
on.
before
Oh,
Paddy's.
Salads.
That's
Right on,
awesome.
yeah, that's
Paddy's though falls on a Sunday this year, and I know some people are still going to be troopers and are going to go in with green gills on Monday. But that said, the Saturday night is going to be where it's at. So if you want to come to a good party, last year was off the hook. So it's $10, 4 great bands. It's going to be a good time, and I can't wait to get up there and jam out these songs. We've been working away feverishly. Everything's really come together. So, and we'll spin a track here, some of the old catalog a little bit later. But that said, we should probably get to a Mr. Tasty song. Although I haven't heard from them, so I don't know which one.
Actually,
they want us to
hold on a second. We do have. Let's go here. Chris from Mr. Tasty is on our feed, right, Chris?
Hello, Chris.
Only he's under his girlfriend's account under Kelly Dom. So, Chris, what song?
He's not allowed to have his own account.
Yeah, I don't think he's allowed to have his own account. But Chris, what song do you want us to play of Mr. Tasty's off the new, album?
Well, we can yakety yak for a few more minutes and
Yeah.
and wait for that, because I do want to break it. I think is the premiere. They haven't played it for anybody else. I don't think they've uploaded the songs online anywhere. And if you've listened to them before, you'll know that they're a really great band. So
Yep,
this is exciting.
we've heard them.
Now we wait. There is
Now
a bit of a delay. I think it's like a 15-second delay.
Yeah. So we're just going to sit here with nothing going on.
Yeah.
Dead silence.
Silence is
Tom
bad on radio.
Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
It's true. Yeah.
Somebody get this man a copy of Top Gun Stat.
Yeah, you know what? You do got to see it.
Val
You
Kilmer's
seen
best
the Mission
performance.
Impossible?
I have seen the Mission Impossible.
I like Mission Impossible 2 the
Yeah,
most
dude,
out
it's
of
Kenny
any of
Loggins.
them. Really.
Yeah, no, it's Kenny Loggins. It's everything that you would expect that you would want in a movie. Didn't Kenny Loggins also do Caddyshack though?
Caddyshack
That's
was
another great
amazing.
movie.
Yeah, I'm
Caddyshack
alright.
was
Greatest
awesome.
golf movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, any song that can get a groundhog to dance is pretty.
The Bushwood Country
Yeah,
Club.
it's
Well,
pretty
you
big.
know
in
who's
my-
another actor that's always himself? It's Kevin Costner. He's
That is
always-
really
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
man.
you're right.
Even in Robin Hood.
Yeah,
He's-
Waterworld,
no, he's
Robin
like-
Hood, he's always the same guy.
Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's himself though. He's not typecast. He's not.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Bruce
Actually-
Willis is always himself.
Yeah, actually, I just saw Looper the other night. That's pretty. I like
Yeah,
it.
That's
that
a
was good.
really
That was
weird
good.
movie. It's different, yeah.
Haven't
But
seen
it's
it.
Yeah,
really
it's
good,
Does
yeah.
it too.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, Jim Carrey can't be anyone
but
else.
yeah, at the same
Yeah.
at the same
He's
time,
too
Jim
weird.
Ace
Carrey.
Ventura.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's like so like fucking bizarre that it doesn't matter what he does. It's like that's
What I kind
He
of
could be
found
serious.
over the last couple of years is that Zach Galifianakis kind of took over Jack Black's kind of era too, like the big
Yeah.
funny guy, but he's kind of ended out, and I
Yeah,
don't see
he's
Jack Black too much anymore.
Yeah, but
no.
mostly
Well,
Zac
Jack Black's
is
been doing a lot of
so
music
much
though.
fun.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of
Zach-
music.
Jack's
Actually.
been touring a lot with KG.
Yeah,
for,
for Tenacious D.
Tenacious.
Yeah,
and
that
they,
is true.
they played
yeah.
some giant shows.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
You
very
know,
busy.
I saw a couple online where they're no exaggeration. There must have been 60 to 100,000 people at this show.
No kidding.
And
I can
granted,
believe
they
it.
were playing with Metallica and like a
They've
bunch
toured.
of
They
other.
toured with the Foo Fighters. They toured with Metallica.
Yeah,
they
but
toured
I mean,
with-
they were.
Grohl
That makes
plays with
sense.
them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fighters
Dave
makes
Grohl,
sense.
yeah.
But people were losing it. Yeah, Dave Grohl like comes out and plays drums with him too on some stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's great. You
Yeah,
know.
Vince Vaughn doesn't change either.
That's true. Yeah.
Did you
that
get this via
dude's-
text?
Like same lines. He recycles
Yeah.
lines.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
All from Swingers too. So it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's all the
Pretty
songs
much
from
so.
An homage
Swingers.
to
Like,
the.
how many times
Yeah.
has he said, "Let's hug it out"?
Yeah.
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 You know, actually, now,
Like-
now that we're thinking about it, now I'm just thinking about all the sidekick like actors, like Ben Affleck, same guy, pretty much, always the same.
Yeah.
True.
It's always the same stuff.
A lot of the Saturday Night Live cast too.
Yeah.
They're always the same. Like David Spade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, he'll always be Joe Dirt. you
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah.
which is the worst thing to be known
Yeah.
as. Really.
I'm Joe Dirt.
Yeah,
Nobody say Christopher Walken. I'll be really.
Christopher
offended.
Walken is always Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on.
He's
Have you
always-
seen?
What's his real name?
Have you seen Balls of Fury?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
Block.
great.
I don't
Man,
know
that movie
why
was
he
hilarious.
even
Yeah,
did
yeah,
that movie.
He's great in that. He's a
That was such a
You
great.
expect me to swat flies? No, bees. And he just drops the box and runs out and locks him in the meat cooler.
There's a Saturday Night Live skit that I was watching with Ajay actually yesterday that he'd not seen before, and it's Christopher Walken, and he's like a gardener, and so he's standing like in around his plants, and he puts googly eyes on them because he says you never know where you stand with a plant, but I put googly eyes on them. I can look them in the eye, so I know where I stand. It's pretty funny. I should post a link for it.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
ridiculous.
that's
I
so
wanna
funny.
That was
And
the-
then
yeah.
there's another thing. It's called the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
No.
Where it's a parody on The Walking Dead, but zombies. Not only do they turn into zombies, but the only other active part of their brain is the one that holds Christopher Walken quotes.
Yeah,
So as they're walking around, they're doing Christopher Walken. It's pretty funny.
there was also during Saturday Night Live the Jay Moore years where
Yeah.
Jay Moore used to do Christopher Walken impressions, and he
Yeah.
did the Skittles commercial.
Yeah.
God, that was awesome.
So, you know what? It's been a long time since I've seen that. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
check it out. What did,
So good.
did
Nothing.
Chris? Nothing. Eh?
No
well, you know
response
what,
from
Chris?
Chris.
I'm not waiting anymore.
Ah,
You
Chris.
had your chance, sir.
Now we're gonna
Now
play the
it's-
kazoo song by
Now
Mr.
it's
Tasty.
all me. All right. Well, let's see what I got here. And you know what? I think we're gonna spin this track, and I think it's about time for you guys to saddle up and hit us with some music.
All right.
What do you think?
Sounds good.
Excited.
Good.
All right. Well, let me get this thing going, and then we'll get you guys into the other room, and we'll get it going. All right. So let me give you the titles here. So help me choose the title.
Okay. Well, Chris has just told us to check out Reggie Watts. He uses a loop station and is funny as hell, which has nothing to do with what song we want to play.
Okay. So
So let's play some Reggie
shall I
Watts.
give you the? I'll give you the titles here.
Yeah.
So we got Lady of the Night.
Okay.
We have Bullshit Boyfriend.
Okay.
We have My Bones.
Okay.
Other Man.
Mm-hmm.
And The Garden.
Lady of the night.
Yeah.
Lady of the Night.
Lady
You
of the
going
Night.
with that
Hands
one?
down.
Yeah.
It's track 2 too, and normally track 2 is the money track, right?
Let's go with it.
All right. This is the Hats Up mix too. That's the description in there.
Okay.
All right. So, never before heard by your ears. This is
Unless you're Siggy or the guys in Mr. Tasty.
exactly.
Yeah.
In which case, yes.
Yeah.
But if not, this is Mr. Tasty, brand new track, Lady of the Night, on the London Indie Underground.
Lunar town boy, wanna check shit out. So you go downtown, through the
Mr. Tasty with Lady of the Night on the London Indie Underground. Thanks for sending in that track, gentlemen. Happy to spin it for you, and next week we'll debut another one if you want to hear it. If you let us know what you think of that song. Let us know what you think of Mr. Tasty, or any of the bands for that matter that we happen to spin. So, without further ado, I'm very pleased to introduce to you the Messes and Miracles on the London Indie Underground.
Thank you. All right,
Alright, this next one's called A Place to Lay Our Heads. It's the first song off of our new EP. Not that new, but it's new to all of you, so...
I could see those in an endless web of lies. Two eyes with crying turpentine. They stained the snowy white, but I said no one really knows what it's like to see the snow in a world full of muddy gray. My darling, I should told you so. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. And if no one ever dreamed about a heaven, would we ever make a change? Our bleeding hearts, our stupid words will never ever see the light of day. 'Cause everybody's listening to a leader with no big shadows to play. A lifetime of our wonder why's the world of the other cafe. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. Love, I can see you're weary, but some more time rambling now. Love, lay your head down nearly. 'Cause it's no time yet to make a stand. But I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe in my soul. I will never let it go. Do you believe, you believe, you believe, you believe in your soul? We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads. We all need a place. We all need a place to lay our heads.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna play one new one here. And yeah, I don't think anybody's heard it yet, so hooray for all. And before we get started, why don't we go ahead and thank you guys. Thanks so much for having us in. It's been fun. It's good to know more people in the city. So yeah.
find the shore. The muttered as my gaze on your boat's body and broken oars. Your silhouetted stars and the song of Irish lore. With water in my lungs and my knees on the ocean floor.
Thank you.
Can't believe
Stalefish with Atterberg Limits here on the London Indie Underground. Before that, live performance with Messes and Miracles. That was awesome, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very good. Very well done. We got a nice little crowd formed in the other room too. You brought some fans with you today, which is nice to see. And we always say we have an open house here, and from week to week, if you would like to come and join us and be a part of our podcast, it's a bit of an intimate setting. And there's a bunch of people crammed in over there. We do have a party lounge that we do open up for some of the bigger events, but through the week on Wednesdays, we never know what our numbers are going to be like. But
No.
we encourage people to come down and check it out. And we're just trying to support the local music scene here and doing the best that we can. But when we can feature artists like the Messes and Miracles is a big win for us. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
You saw everybody on your cell phones there a moment ago. Everybody was texting furiously. Is there any more shout-outs that you need to do?
Not shout-outs,
I'm clean.
No?
I'm good.
We're good. Still
So-
a lot of likes to look at.
Yeah, right on. So that said, obviously your Twitter's up and running now
Yes.
at the Messes.
The Messes, yep.
So we'll do a feature Friday for you this Friday and see if we can get you some followers. But if you like that sound, make sure you check them out. And where else can people get at you other than your newly formed Twitter?
We're also on Facebook under Messes and Miracles, which we have all our EP listed on there if you want to check out the full thing as well.
Cool.
Cool. We should fire that out for them.
We should.
Are you on it, G?
In a second. Just
What are you doing?
same thing everybody else is doing all of a sudden. Exactly.
It's like a smartphone.
Oh, sorry. When I said what everybody else is doing, I didn't mean you, Bubs.
So funny story. Ever since the Kindle or those e-readers came out, guess what kind of books just skyrocketed through the roof?
Oh, porn mags,
Dirty
man.
porn books. Yeah,
that is awesome.
yeah, through the roof.
Like Harlequin?
Just like 50 Shades of Grey, stuff like that. Like,
They have pictures too.
oh, I don't know. It's
Well,
just
then, that would
that
defeat
come
the
up?
purpose.
What just
Oh, man,
happened?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did
that
you just randomly jump subjects?
sorry.
it's after 8:30. The kids are in bed.
My neck hurts from
No,
that
I just like
sharp turn.
technology. I look down at my phone and I come up and all of a sudden we're talking porn for some reason.
Hey, man, you never know which way it's going to go.
You never
Yeah,
do.
apparently not. I should put this down and pay more attention.
So I got a couple of shows that I do need to plug, and one of the things that we do ask bands to do, if you happen to have a show coming up, either drop us a line through an email or hit us up on the Facebook page and let us know what's happening so that we can support you. We just want to fire it out there. Oh man, I'm just on my Twitter feed or Facebook feed rather right now, and Beach Road Studios has
Yeah, the anal mic.
yeah. So who wants to hear the anal mic? Is what
Yeah, I
it's
know.
called.
Yeah, fire it up.
You're right.
So a second ago, you were like, "Hey,
Yeah,
Gary, what are
I-
you doing at the same time?" And then you just did the exact same
I
thing.
got completely derailed by Siggy Meyer. He does it.
What's going on?
Stuck out here.
Dude,
The anal mic.
that's
Oh,
twice now. I'm just.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Anal
What do you mean by the anal mic?
I
thought
don't
it was-
know. I don't know.
Based on from what I understand, I think it's a flashback to the other thing where he's recorded a fart.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
really?
thought it was.
That's
Okay,
solid
listen,
fun.
I gotta say, I got a lot of bad feedback about that episode that we did where we played a track that was done by the Salads.
Oh yeah,
when,
yeah.
when they went into the studio.
Was
and
that
they-
Dan? When Dan was here?
Yeah, no, Dan was here. It wasn't that day. It was when Siggy was here. Last time Siggy
Okay.
was here. And so we played that track, and this track was composed purely of farts that they had put into, Pro Tools or whatever, and resampled stuff. So instead of hitting notes of an instrument or whatnot, it was a fart.
That's
And
sweet.
it was a whole montage that they put together of a medley rather, of all of their songs. And I got some real bad feedback about that. I had some people say, that's when we just turned off. We tuned out. So, you know what? We're not going to play the fart montage anymore. And
That's okay.
henceforth, the anal mic, I'm not going to make mention of it ever again. I don't know, but I'm curious. I don't know what it is, but we'll
People draw
find
the
out.
line?
hopefully
Yeah.
if it's in the toilet, it's got plastic over the mic or something.
You know what? We're going to do the segment with you here in a couple of minutes, Bubs.
God.
We
Yeah, I was
definitely
gonna
got
ask
to do
what
it.
happened. What happened to his show?
Yeah, it's the Bub Show. So, listen, Joseph Benazia, who plays in a band called Astoria, had messaged me earlier today asking if we could do a little plug for a show that's coming up. I believe it's Thursday. Let me see. Yeah, it's at Call the Office, which is tomorrow. So Valentine's Day. So, if you want to take your date out to a show or if you don't have a date, tomorrow night at Call the Office. There's going to be 3 bands playing. One of them is the Dirty Nil, which is a great band. If you've not seen them play live before, you definitely got to go check them out. Astoria and special guests. So they haven't announced the special guests yet, but the Dirty Nil is a band out at Hamilton. and they're certainly getting some recognition right now. So it's great to see some talent rolling through our city. And if you've been to Collie Office before, you know what it's like there. They're usually showcasing some good bands. So make sure you go and check it out. But Astoria is a band that we're looking to feature here. And Joseph, I know I've urged him to make sure to send us some stuff. There was a bit of confusion there when they had that one show at the Roxbury, and I ended up spinning the wrong band. But that said, we'll get that all squared away, and we're happy to support those cats too. Because they've been pumping our tires too. Like, you know, we're appreciative when anybody takes the time to say, hey, you know, you got to check these guys out and what they're doing. And, you know, Karma's a real
Strange
influence
monster?
here. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So we'll support you. We'll get some messages here. Maybe it's from Siggy about this said mic. Oh, yeah. No, it has nothing to do with the mic.
What was that? Okay.
No, it was just something he and I were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Okay. So that was the one show that I had to pump. And I kind of want to segue into something that you and I were talking about earlier, Justin. So offline, we made mention that, you know, you spent some time out west and that you had
Right.
worked with a record label.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have some questions about that, if you don't mind,
Okay, go.
before we get into the whole Bubs thing. So what was are you able to name the label that you were working with?
It was a label called Spawner Records.
Spawner Records.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're primarily punk rock and hardcore. But, I mean, he would sign the owner.
Could you move the mic over to you a little bit
Here,
closer?
I'll shift. But yeah, I mean,
Perfect, thank you.
he signed, you know, whatever he liked, but primarily punk rock and hardcore. Just that's the scene we were in.
Right. So is that predominant out in that market?
It is, yeah. It was. I mean, back in the day, you know, when there were piles of them, it was pretty. The scene, especially in the Okanagan, where I did most of my high school years and was living most of the time. I did live in Vancouver afterwards, of course, but the scene there was just epic, like super good for a lot of years. So yeah, I mean the scene around BC was definitely really good. I think it's kind of fizzled out a little bit now, but still fairly strong, I think. Just probably the styles have kind of shifted at this point. So
And places to play.
yeah, that's true.
Like everything's dance club again, so
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Big town for that in BC in the Okanagan's Penticton.
Yep.
That's like a great town for live music and entertainment, and that's the Okanagan's wine country, right?
Yeah.
It's like a
I'm
lot of
from. I grew up in BC. So.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So. But sorry, go on.
I think that was
That was it.
Okay.
Before I destroyed it.
So what was your primary responsibility there?
it kind of shifted around. I was primarily responsible for opening all the demos, which was a fun task.
Okay.
Anything that got sent in, which then there was a fair bit. I'd open up, give thumbs up or thumbs down kind of thing, and then hand it off to the owner if it was worth handing off, which, you know, you get 50. There might be 2 good ones. That
Okay.
But
So you were the gatekeeper.
I was the gatekeeper, yeah. It was a fun job, but at the same time, it was kind of depressing.
Okay. Depressing in the sense that you were felt like you were shattering these young careers, and these ambitions of these young bands, or
I was more
Or
thinking
that-
from a selfish perspective, like I got to listen to all of this really bad music. No, there was lots of good bands, and you know, obviously, a lot of them were really like younger kids, just kind of starting out, like, you know, had a pen and wrote on a piece of paper, "We're a band from so and so," and kind of thing, with a disc that they recorded with one microphone on a 4-track, right? But it varied. I mean, and you know, I don't, you know, I didn't say that out loud to anybody, but no, there was good stuff, and there was lots and lots of not great stuff, but hopefully, you know, they progressed into becoming good stuff
There's
later
so
on.
so many bands out there. Everybody
Yeah.
has a band.
it's true.
And there's
Yeah.
so many different levels, and everybody's recording. There's so many avenues that they can record from, and everybody's posting the MySpace page or this and that.
MySpace is making a comeback too.
Is
Is
it?
it? Seriously?
You know
Because
what?
of the music?
Really?
No,
My new
well,
MySpace. Or
a lot of
I don't know about
new
that,
cash
but-
infusion and new hype on it because
Yeah.
Justin
my wife,
Timberlake.
My wife
yeah,
already
on it.
said that I aged myself earlier, asking what Twitter was, but I actually prefer MySpace. to
No
Facebook.
way.
I
Really?
do. You get to customize stuff and like
Oh, come on.
I don't know. It seemed more fun.
Yeah, dude.
Well, no, I'm
Facebook.
with you on that. When
Yeah.
when MySpace came out, it was cool. It
Devastated
was,
them.
but it was the first one. Like,
Yeah, like it was
fun
the
little
first social
backgrounds and
network
stuff.
Yeah.
thing, but then
I can't
Facebook
access
came out and
MySpace
just
through
killed
my
Like,
iPhone, though.
I'm a cheesy fan. If I'm a fan of a band, I'm cheesy about it. Like Thrice and like David Bazan and stuff. I lose my mind about them. So I would totally put a background of like Thrice on my page, and I'd be like, "Look at me, I'm a Thrice fan." Wee.
I get
But-
about Twitter is that.
That's pretty funny.
I like that, but Facebook is just like, here's your page, there's some pictures of you, and here's what you have to say for the day.
Here's some blue and white, and
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me.
The only thing I didn't like about MySpace is I felt in time it was just there was a lot of spam on there, and it was just
That's
really
true.
cluttered.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they at one point I thought it was great because everything was nice and neat. The lines were good, and then they went and did an overhaul to it when they did the MySpace update. So they did the My and then the
Yeah.
the space symbol,
Yeah.
and then everything changed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of advertising, right? But it got really messy, and there was just a clutter of like if you did anything, it registered all your activities. So you played this, you did this, you did this,
Yeah.
you did this, and it showed up in the feed, and I
Well-
was just like, this is way too much.
And one of the funny things when it first came out, there were bands actually signing record deals based on their play numbers on MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back then, and I remember thinking how ridiculous that was. Like what happens if they suck? Like, is it just they have a bunch of friends? Like, you know what I mean? It's strange. It's just.
Well, I mean,
Internet's
that's
a
the thing
weird
about
thing.
music is fickle, right? Because even bands that are not very good, and
Yeah.
and I can think, and I won't mention any names, but you may know who I'm thinking about. But there's a lot of bands out there that are not very good, but that have a great following, right? And teach their own. If you happen to like that music, that's cool, and I respect that.
It's about loving what you do, though.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
They love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. But I often wonder about some of those bands that have maybe compromised a little bit further than
They've had to.
They've had to,
Yeah.
yeah. And they go out and they're like, oh God, I have to play this song again.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't play something with conviction, should you really be playing it? I don't know.
Well, and if you sit down and talk to like any major label person, they're persuasive. Like they can really talk up a storm and make you think like, oh, this is just the way the business works, and you should write a song with a catchy chorus that comes in exactly 30 seconds in and blah 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 and all that. And so after a while you start thinking, oh yeah, but let's write a song that's gonna get played more often and blah blah blah, and then you're thinking, wait a second, that's what am I doing kind of thing, and it's back and forth kind of thing.
So as a gatekeeper in a lot of these bands, I'm assuming that you've opened 1,000 CDs.
It's been a lot.
Is
Yeah.
there any that you would kind of consider to be the precursor to some good things happening for them in terms of, because I'm assuming that you did the preliminary evaluation, so you listened to it and determined whether or not this is something that you thought was viable, and then put it into the hands of the people that ultimately make the decision.
Right.
Okay.
There were some bands that sent in that later on became actually pretty big bands. One band, I mean, this was years ago, but one band, there's I guess they're kind of pop punk from somewhere in the States called Over It. I don't know if anybody's heard of them, but they actually did fairly well for a long time. And I remember opening it and thinking, you know what, these guys, pretty good. Like that's a pretty solid band. And I don't know what happened with that. Like, I mean, obviously passed it over, and I remember that CD being in our studio for a long time. I don't know whatever happened as far as beyond me passing it off, but they were a great band, and there was a lot like that. I can't really remember specifics, but
Well, maybe you can do this then. So for some aspiring bands that happen to be listening to this right now, I know our listener base is diverse. We have the casual listener, and we have the aspiring musician that's maybe trying to navigate through the current musical landscape, right? So if they're, as that gatekeeper, is there any advice that you would impart to them and say, if you want to maximize your opportunity for success, here's what you do? or here's what I would recommend?
It kind of, I mean, it works a little differently nowadays than it did then. But I mean, as far as sending a demo in, you know, you don't have to have like a mind-blowing, like major label sounding recording, but the better it is, the more likely we are to stop and listen. And I mean, not, you know, within reason. You got to be able to hear everything. You got to be able to hear kind of the sound that you're going for. If you know, if you're playing live off the floor with a tape recorder in the room, you know, it's kind of, it's, if I'm opening like, you know, 20 envelopes a day or whatever, and whipping through them, it's not really going to stand out that well. And you know, spend the money to print things up. We got a lot of odd bios written up in pen and just like really kind of lazy stuff. But I mean, this was a while back when punk rock was kind of the thing, and these are just, you know, punk rock bands just being punk rock, I suppose you could say. But by the time you're listening to however many bands, I mean, it's you're only going to take so many seriously. So yeah, I mean,
That's an unenviable position, I think, to be in.
it kind of yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, and the thing is like every time I listen, I'm like, yep, great, you're young, you're learning, awesome. But and you know, I don't think it jaded me, but it was definitely got tough after a while to keep listening to just one band after another that was just not only like a lot of bands doing very much the same thing, like just fast beats and, you know, whatever, just being lazy about it. Just kind of got
Yeah,
old.
you know, I can understand where you're coming from. A lot of the feedback that we've been getting, and we've been really privileged to have, you know, some of the who's who of London that have been involved for a long time on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the resonating theme is to, you know, make sure you have your stuff tight. You know, practice. And, you know, your representation, you have to obviously work within your means. But right now, you know, I think bands have a lot of tools that are available at their disposal. Whether it's social media, whether it's, you know, things like YouTube or whatnot. Nowadays, it's very easy to record in your basement. You know, whether or not that's going to be representative of the sound that you want is questionable, because, you know, if you want the quality, you get what you pay for, kind of thing. But the underlying theme, I think, in everybody that we spoke to that has been there, kind of done that, was, you know, make sure your stuff's tight. You know, spend the time and work on it, and don't put something out unless it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you may play a show, you might be an aspiring band, and you might play a show, and there may not be a lot of people there, but, you know, if there's 10 faces in the crowd, you got to melt those 10 faces, you know what I mean? And you can't get discouraged, because it's tough. There are a billion bands. Like London, there's a ton of bands.
Like your demo should be considered like your resume for employment, right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Like your resume is going to be professional looking. It's going to, you know, showcase
Should pull
the
that
key
mic over.
quality points of yourself, right? So if you have a shitty resume and it just looks all sloppy and handwritten, whatever, you know, the potential employer is not going to take you seriously.
Exactly.
So if you just come in with a recording that you've done off your boombox or whatever, you know, people aren't going to take you seriously.
Right. No, I agree.
Absolutely.
Just the way it is. Like, it's not about spending $10,000 on like a 5-song EP or anything like that. But
You
it's
can
just
have, you know, and I would suggest that
Put
you
your
can
best
have a
effort forward.
subpar recording that maybe is not to the level of, you know, some of the stuff that we've listened to, even the stuff that you've done with Grady at EMAC. But if the songs are strong, that's what people are going to hear.
Exactly.
You know, like
It's the hook.
the
Melody.
average listener doesn't listen into a mix and go, wow, you know, those cymbals, you know, maybe they should have boosted a little 8K or something. They don't listen to that.
No.
They don't care. They don't care about any of that, right? What they listen to is, you know, is this, can I tap my foot to it? By the time the second chorus rolls around, do I kind of know what the melody is and I can sing along with it, you know? And that's what I think what industry people are looking for too, which poses the question, you know, do you have to compromise your creativity to get signed? Some would argue yes, some would argue no.
It depends what your creativity is, I think. I mean, you look at a band like Choke, for instance, we're friends of the label back in the day, and they had no delusion about where they stood in the market. Like, have you heard Choke?
I'm familiar with the name, but
Okay.
I can't say that I remember
Anyway,
any of the
very,
songs.
very technical, fast punk rock, and he had a very nasally voice, odd voice, but they're a great band. They were just so tech and just, you know, they put on an incredible show, but they knew full well where they stood. They weren't even remotely close to signing to a major label ever, and they never intended to. They were on Small Man Records, and they put out, I don't even know, like 5 albums that were just awesome. And there's people from back in the punk rock scene back then. Choke is like a staple in like Canadian punk rock.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you don't need to have a record label to have
No,
success.
and
Well,
that's
isn't that
yeah.
the thing nowadays? Is
Yeah.
that the journeyman musician? You know, you can do it on your own now. You can promote yourself.
Yeah,
Isn't
well-
that like more the staple now? Like,
And it's all through like social media.
Right,
Yeah.
we posted up on
Networking.
our
It's a
Facebook
band.
page a couple of days
Walk
back.
off the earth.
No.
Yeah, no.
A different one. They recently dropped off their label. I think I want to say not Between the Buried and Me. They raised $150,000 towards their crowd.
Protest the Hero.
Protest
Yeah.
the Hero.
Oh,
They
yeah.
dropped their label. They raised $150,000 in one day just off their fans, just saying, "We're done. We want to do our things our own ways.
Yeah.
If you like us, donate." And
Yeah.
one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
seems
That's
to
a
be
test
the new thing nowadays is there's some opportunities for bands to put up their stuff for donation, right? There's bands Elias,
Yep.
Elias. So, the name escapes me at the moment, and I wish I could remember. But basically, it was like a donation type of site, right, where you put your stuff up there.
And the
you say,
Kickstarter?
hey- yeah,
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. I've seen
So
that.
Kickstarter. So we should post up some information about this because I think this is valuable, right? So Kickstarter gives bands the opportunity to put your stuff up there and to look for private investors, right? And so if I'm not mistaken, I think somebody even in Europe saw the link and gave them $3,000. Just like the stuff, like the sound, said, here you go. So I mean, that's a pretty incredible
that's
story, right? And we posted up the other day about Macklemore, indie artist, #1, on the charts, played at, was he at the Grammys? Like, this guy's everywhere right now, right? So I don't necessarily, was he at the Grammys? I don't know. I didn't tune into the Grammys, and you think I would have
I
because
watched
I'm a
like
music
half
guy,
of
right?
them up until Mumford played "I Will Wait," and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
That's all I really
None,
wanted to see
nonetheless,
was Mumford.
Macklemore is
It's obvious.
huge right
Yeah,
now.
he's
and
massive.
I know some of my close friends are huge fans.
Yeah.
Independent artist. You don't need to have a record label to have some degree of success. You just need to use the tools that are available to you. And when they come knocking, you need to know what it is that you're looking for.
And one of the
Right.
biggest tools right now is YouTube.
It's true.
Like you film yourself doing something like a little music video or whatever, and and you put it up there, people are probably gonna watch it to a certain extent, and it'll just keep going, and
It goes viral,
It's
right?
viral. When it goes
Yeah.
viral.
yeah.
You make money.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, we're going to get to some music, then we're going to come back with Bubba Hotep over here, who's fallen asleep. I saw you doing the nod there a minute ago. I'm sorry we're boring you, buddy. I mean, we're doing our best here, but obviously it's not working. All right, so somebody requested Searching for Satellites?
Yeah.
What song did you want to hear?
Chemicals.
Chemicals? I
Yeah.
think we can do that.
Sweet. Awesome.
All right, yeah, I
Love
pulled
that
it up
song.
here. So, all right, well, this is Searching for Satellites with Chemicals on the London Indie Underground.
I want you wrapped around my finger. I want your name on my lips. I want you in it. I wanna dwell under your skin. I promise you I'll find my way in. Won't you stick for me? Or will you continue to scream? Won't you stick for me? Or will you continue to scream?
Searching for Satellites with Chemicals here on the London Indie Underground. A little heavier sound from some of the stuff that we've been spinning tonight. But, you know, we do try to be diverse and, you know, we don't discriminate. So if you happen to be in a heavier band, you want to send us some stuff, we're going to switch it up too. We're going to have some theme nights where we spin some of the heavier stuff. That said, we do try to tailor the podcast to, you know, our guest, and particularly when we do have a live performance, you know, kind of have the same type of theme, if you will, for the night. But that said, Searching for Satellites, great band, which I do believe there's a show announcement that came out recently. I saw Brandon Eady had posted something up. They're going to be playing at the London Music Hall, if I'm not mistaken.
right.
And further, it's going to be their first show with their new singer.
That's
and
right.
we'll get some info to you, too.
Yeah.
But Gary's on it right now. All right, so I want to take a minute to introduce a new segment that we're going to be calling Babbling with Bubzilla. So Bubzilla is my buddy Bubs Kendall, who's sitting on the couch over here.
Fuck yeah.
So I apologize if you happen to have kids at home, because
Put
this
them
is
to sleep right now.
this is the segment. This is the segment where
Use-
things may
use
go a
the
little
knives.
south. But that said, he's a good dude. He's just says some crazy stuff. So Bubba, how are you?
I ain't too bad.
You ain't too bad. You were falling asleep over there, man.
Yeah, well, I had 3 beers for supper and, you know, kind of went to my head.
3 beers for supper. What'd you
Yeah.
have for lunch?
No, actually, I had a salad.
Did you go to the co-op and get your salad?
No, I thought about that because, you know, that would have been free, right?
You should pull that mic a little bit closer to you, bub.
Co-op.
So listen,
Here's a word for today, co-op.
you can follow Bubs at Bubzilla on Twitter, and he's quite the character. Actually, Bubs is quite the accomplished guitar player. I've been jamming up with this guy for a while. He works right next door here at Perfect Image, where they do lamination and framework and whatnot. But yeah, Bubs, that last time that we were here and we set up these microphones and you kind of went off.
Yeah.
I know you probably don't want me to play that.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Like, I had 4 beers that night for supper. So, you know, I was pretty wasted.
Off of 4 beers?
Oh, yeah.
Is that all it takes?
Well, these days, I'm getting old now.
How old are you?
31.
That's not old, man.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you how old I am.
Oh,
Although most people don't think I'm the age I am.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
you're 26.
Right. You got it. So, Bubba, what have you been up to?
Not too much. Drinking beer, playing guitar, acting stupid. So.
Oh, let's talk more about this.
What everybody
acting stupid.
expects from me.
What do people expect from you?
I don't know. Not too much, I guess. Drink beer, play guitar,
Yeah,
act
yeah.
stupid.
So, do you want to tell us the story about when you were working construction?
Yeah, I was like fucking really busy, and you know, in those moments where you don't have time to like, you know,
Okay, well,
run
let's
and
tee
find a
this up
bathroom.
for people because they haven't heard the whole story. Okay, so
This is
so all right. So the lowbrow warning. Okay,
Really?
lowbrow warning.
Low
But we got to
brow
tell the story because you know it's compelling, and that's what people want to hear. They want to hear the funny stuff. Actually, I got some feedback that sometimes people like the dialogue more than the music. So I don't know about that because I like the music. But that said, you know, we got to tell these stories because
Yes,
people want to hear it.
I
So
agree.
So that said, okay. So Bubba, you were working, doing construction, building
Yep.
new houses, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's this new house. It was almost finished, and so you know, by chance, I needed to take a shit. You know, and when you put in a new toilet and it's almost finished, you put a wrap around it so you know it shows that okay, seal ain't broken. So I really had to go. I was like turtling, and there was a shower there, and you know, so I used that to my advantage.
Oh my god.
That's fine. That's just like a toilet, too.
You know?
That's no problem.
Yeah. It has running water, and
Yeah.
Of course.
Same thing.
And you
just
didn't break
gotta
the
do
seal.
a little mid,
So,
you know,
but
Eastern thing.
the drain is tiny, though, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Did you have to
I
crunch it up
improvised
to get it down there?
Yeah, I improvised a little bit.
Oh.
Use the water.
Yeah.
Man.
And
I used my intelligence. I picked up a stick and I fucking bet it to death. Right?
That's amazing.
So it worked. Everything turned out fine, and till this day, I mean, somebody's showering where I took a nice shit.
I wonder if when they first moved in, it was like, you know what? There's something.
Something off about the bathroom.
Smells like an ass.
Yeah, I'm thinking like,
Smell will
like,
permanently be there forever.
did a rat crawl into the sewer and just die here or something? There's something coming out of this.
In the
'Cause
walls.
if he's cramming it in with a stick, you know it's going to get stuck on the inside. I'd hate to be the fucking plumber if there's a plug. If I don't know. The water's
Backed
not
up,
running
like the
yet.
day after. I thought about that. You know,
Yeah.
if somebody's like taking a shower and it backs up, they got my shit like on their feet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So what happened to the teepee?
To the teepee.
Wait.
That's a whole.
Oh, no,
story.
I had teepee.
You had teepee?
Yeah.
So you just waited for it to just.
I threw
disintegrate in
that.
the water?
No, I threw that at the bottom of like a basket. We had like not a basket, it's a bucket with like plaster and stuff in it.
That's dirty.
So you know,
That's pretty greasy, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Epic
Props
story
to
though.
that.
Yeah.
I've never
it
taken
had to be
shower.
done, so
That's-
it was fucking done. If somebody needs to take a shit, you're gonna, unless you're like a trained shit holder, you're gonna fucking shit.
That's bad for you too.
Yeah, it is
You're
bad for
a
you.
trained-
You don't want to
Like
fuck
that
up your
dude in
bunghole,
the
man.
Yeah.
Fuck up your bunghole, you're done for.
Oh.
We'll just leave that one alone, I guess.
Yeah. That can go
Babbling
away.
with Bubzilla.
Yep.
There you go.
Give him a follow on Twitter.
Excellent.
You never know what's going to happen. Thanks for sharing that story. I hope you have something as compelling next week.
Oh, no problem. If I'm ever like fucking, around a shower again, I'll try to take a shit.
Are you going to Instagram it?
Yeah.
So, note to self: don't let Bubs in your house near the shower.
No, I'm very respectable and like,
Clearly.
yeah.
It was a construction job. What do you expect?
Just put a bucket in your porch and I'll take a shit in it.
You want to continue with the crap stories? I got a funny one.
You got one?
The
All right.
Yeah,
I apologize to our listeners. We got to tell these stories. We have to tell
You
them.
know what? We put the disclaimer on at the beginning.
We
They're
did.
in.
We
They're
did.
they're in it, and they know this
Yeah.
is coming.
It's like a train wreck. You can't
Exactly.
look away. You got to listen
You
in.
pay your ticket, you get on, you ride it out.
Shit story. Go.
Shit story.
So we were on tour somewhere in the flats, and we're on tour with that band that I would mention to you during the song, Far From Heroes, on our label. They're an Ontario band, so I'm sure there might be some people out there that remember them. And the maintenance guy, we're done the show, everything went fine, and then the like a janitor or something came in and yelled at well, I won't say who, one of the guys from Far From Heroes, and he I don't even know what his problem was really, but then he thought it was quite funny to find the janitor's closet and break into it, and he found his toolbox and opened the lid, took a crap in the toolbox, and closed the lid back up, and then just carried on about his business like nothing had happened.
That's awesome.
It's terrible.
Poor janitor.
And we're just like, dude, we're never going to be asked back here ever again. He's like, man, he was so mean. Like, all right. Anyway,
You gotta go.
that was my story.
Gotta go.
Karma.
There's a lot of poo stories on the road, but
Yeah, actually, there is quite a lot.
Yeah.
When you think about it, most of the shit stories you hear about are from on the road.
yeah.
Sadly, we ran out of time.
Oh, luckily.
I'm sure we could go all day.
Yeah.
Not that I would really want to, but you have to tell these stories.
If you have to, you got to.
What are you gonna do?
It's
When
important.
you got to go, you got to go.
It's true. All right, so we've reached the end of another podcast.
You need outgoing music.
I
now.
do.
Yeah.
I do. I really need right now. It's
Yeah,
like
some violin-y kind of
yeah.
Mr. Rogers.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. But there you go. Don't worry, be happy. So we need to take an opportunity to thank our sponsors, as always.
Mhm.
I got to pull up the tile here.
Ooh, Tyler.
So, first off, I want to thank Mr. Jason Rorda, J. Rorda Photography, which he is curiously absent from tonight's podcast.
What up, Jay?
I don't know what he's doing
No.
or what kind of trouble he's got himself into tonight. But then again, he may be working because I know he's been busy doing some photos as of late. I've seen all kinds of stuff that he's been posting up. This guy is a brilliant photographer that, I personally, in my opinion, and I love the guy, I think he should be charging more money for what he's doing. But that said, he's given bands a brilliant opportunity to get a professional photographer, in to do some great photos for you. He's charging $50. And he'll do like glamour shots or, take pictures of food or whatever you want him to do. But believe me, the proof is in the pudding, and certainly Instagram and some of the other photo apps that are out there do a good job, but they will never replace a trained photographer that knows what he's doing and knows how to work with light. And he's a bit of a wizard with the Photoshop too. He can do some pretty cool stuff.
And based on his photo here, he has no eyes,
No, he
which
has
makes him
no
more impressive
eyes.
as a photographer.
Exactly. How does he do it?
He
Blind
uses the
photog.
force.
He harnesses the power of the beard.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna
exactly.
say it's
He's
probably
competing in
all
the-
power from beard.
He's competing in the Beard Olympics.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In
in
Norway, he's
training.
going to Norway. He's in training
That
right
is
now.
awesome.
Yeah, he's got a beard coach. His girlfriend, she's like, he's not allowed to trim it, other
Yeah.
than for
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
She's telling me he had to put mayonnaise in it and stuff.
Ben.
Like, I didn't know that.
It's a conditioner or something.
Really?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh man, sounds like something Bubba would do by
Ben.
accident.
No, it's not. It's,
By accident.
Mayonnaise is a lot better than like manure.
It's true.
That is true.
And plus, you don't go into Subway and ask for manure on your sub, but you can't say mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Well, I guess you could ask for manure on your sub, but whatever.
but really, with that, who
Jason
would have
Horner,
that as a
he's,
topic.
he's a good photographer.
Yeah.
$50.
Manure at Subway.
We just got back to crap again. I just
Yeah,
noticed.
Right.
Yeah.
You see how this thing goes? You never know how it's going to go.
Well,
Anyway.
So that said, I would like to separate manure from the remainder of the sponsor conversation. So secondly, I want to thank Stephen Jane Poulin at the Submission Academy Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which are located at Dundas and Egerton. Two of the nicest people I know and two of the most hardworking and committed people that I know with their craft and their school. Steve was recently promoted to brown belt from Drysdale Jiu-Jitsu down in Las Vegas. Drysdale is his affiliate and is a school that houses some MMA elite fighters that that fight in the UFC and other MMA organizations. So that said, Steve's school is really blowing up right now. He's offered some morning classes. They're doing kickboxing, they're doing boxing, they're doing wrestling. They're really doing it all. And I can't even keep up with the guy's posts with the level of energy that he has. Like, I can only imagine going there and seeing what they're all about. But that said, two very committed people. If you happen to be looking for, an exciting and refreshing form of exercise, there's a lot of them out there nowadays. People are taking yoga, people are trying different things. Mixed martial arts is not a barbaric sport. It is a highly evolved sport that takes a tremendous amount of commitment. But that said, the jiu-jitsu aspect of it, is purely grappling and is a great way to get in shape. And let me tell you, I've seen some people that have gone into this program that went in, and obviously had some concerns with respect to their weight and wanted to drop some pounds and whatnot, and come out of the other end of this thing like a piece of iron. So you definitely want to check them out. Two great people. Also want to thank my buddy Scotty Finlayson, aka Scotty Fairmont from fullcolorcards.ca, who recently hooked me up with some new cards for a new business venture that I recently I posted about, but I haven't talked about it on the podcast here yet. But I'm trying to separate the two things because I don't want this to just be about, our show or all the other things that we're trying to do here. It's just about the show and moreover about the music and the bands that are in this market. But that said, he hooked me up with some cards. Did a great job once again. If you happen to be in the market for some business cards, awesome guy. For me, that says it all. Like when you connect with people and you work with people, and if you get along and you resonate with these people and they're looking out for your best interests and they genuinely want to help, those are the people that you need to stand by. And that's how I feel about Scotty. Great dude. I'm going to go back to him again and again and again. So business cards, he's the guy you want to see, and does graphics as well. And last but not least, Gary,
Hello.
come to you.
Yeah.
The Sure for Brains, who you also did up some T-shirts for me again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For my other business venture.
Yep.
Which I'm not going to mention here today because it's separate from what we're doing. That said, I'll drop some stuff. I want people to know because there certainly is some dovetailing happening in terms of what we can do to support. But really, the London Indie Underground is about the scene. It's not about me. It's about the music here and about the bands that we support. So,
Exactly.
But that said, you do some fantastic work.
Thank you, sir.
And, you're in a band, you need some T-shirts done. Merchandise can often be the difference between your gas money to the next city.
Or the Subway.
Or the subway.
Yeah.
So they want to
Just
see
saying.
you.
Yeah, they might.
They do?
They might. They
No,
come
they
out,
definitely do.
have a cup of coffee at the house. We talk. We
Yeah.
do work.
Yeah. Well, I've never been disappointed by anything that you've done for me, so
Cool.
do what we can to help you out, too. And you just so happen to be a co-host on the show, so
It works out well.
double win.
Double win for everybody.
Double win.
That's right, suckers. You get to hear me and see me. Up yours.
last but not least, I want to thank Messes and Miracles for coming in today. Gentlemen, so how can people get at you once again?
Twitter, at the messes, or on Facebook, Messes and Miracles.
There you go.
There you go.
It's about time you got a Twitter set up.
Yeah.
So I think as a result of today's podcast, I think you have some followers now. A few anyway,
At
right?
least 7.
I know I'm one.
Sweet.
So give them a follow. We're going to be posting up and archiving this podcast. We've got a couple of weeks actually in succession that we need to post up, but we were pretty well caught up there. Just one of those things that takes time. And I'm a man lately of little time. But that said, I want to make sure I get these up because obviously we're going to want it available for your fans that can go and check out the performance. Not everybody was able to tune in today, and we appreciate that, but sometimes people want to go check out after the fact. So we'll make that available to you.
Perfect.
All right, gentlemen, we reached the end.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
No,
thank you very much.
Well, thanks for
Thanks
coming
for
down.
coming.
I appreciate it.
Really
And,
great
and it
guy.
goes without saying, if you have any other material that you're working on or
Gigs.
recording, gigs,
Yeah,
whatever,
please let us
use
know.
us. Send us a tweet. The best thing to do is to tweet
Well-
us, and then we retweet it so that our following can see it.
All the promoters out there, we are starting to look for shows now. So, if you're in need of a band, we are a band.
Twitter, Facebook.
And we're
You are a
happy to
band.
play.
Get
Yeah.
on it.
I would also like to take 2 seconds to thank Bush for making my beer cold as a mountain stream and smooth as its name. So thank you, Bush.
Our unofficial sponsors of today actually
Yes.
is Bex, Bush,
Bud.
And
Bud,
Low and brown.
Low and Brow,
Creemore.
Creemore.
Creemore. Yeah.
Right. So we got a lot of
Tim's.
sponsors here.
Yeah.
We're doing things right.
Montreal Canadiens.
So thank you to the unofficial sponsors.
And no, not the Montreal Canadiens.
All right. Let me see. What am I going to play here?
Something with kazoos.
No kazoos. No kazoos. Actually, this is a band that I'm looking to get here into the studio, which features a good friend of mine, Lee Rogers, a band called The Mercy Now.
Right.
And we played them before.
Yep.
We're looking to have them come down and do a live performance with us. Just working on some dates here because, obviously we're midweek and these guys would be coming in from out of town. So it's a little bit more difficult to coordinate, but we're hopeful that we can get them in because I love these guys, man. Just such a great tone. All right. Let me switch up this tile here. Yoink. All right, folks. So thanks for tuning in to another edition of the London Indie Underground. Please join us next week where we're going to be joined by Lynn Craven from Lonnie in the Garden, who's also going to be doing a live in-studio performance for us for a couple of acoustic tracks, as well as an interview. Lynn's been around for some time and been involved in a couple of different projects, but that said, Lonnie in the Garden just came back from a tour. They've had a lot of success, and they're doing well right now on the college charts, so all the best to them, but we're looking forward to having them here live in the studio. So once again, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jimmy James, best-looking man you'll ever hear. Broadcasting you live from the Vault Recording Studio at Adelaide and Princess here in beautiful downtown London, Ontario. You have yourself a good night. This is The Mercy Now with From the Heart.
She kept me stepping. She told me.